hear these words, you may think I am a madman, but I can assure you that is but far from the truth. Listen carefully as I tell you the story. It was a fine autumn afternoon, just a fortnight before Halloween, when I moved into my new home. I had traveled far from the boroughs of New England to start this new life as a schoolmaster, and was quite excited to begin. But it was not long before I was met with an eerie tale from the townsfolk. Many years ago, a man was murdered, they said, in the very bedroom I sleep in. He was caught by surprise in the middle of the night by a man whom he thought was his friend. The man confessed, but never revealed where he hid the body. It was said he dismembered it and hid it in the floorboards. Well, pish posh, I said. I'm afraid I don't believe in ghost stories. So I went on with my business, preparing for my first lessons. It was while I was working that I heard a faint noise that echoed through the house. I stood up to see what it could be, only for the noise to disappear as quickly as it had appeared. So I continued my work, thinking nothing of it. The very next day, I introduced myself to the adolescents of the town as their new schoolmaster. Eager to begin, I jumped right into the lessons of language and arithmetic. But the children could not seem to focus, for their only interest was in my home. The whole neighborhood shrieked whenever I stepped foot into the haunted house. I could not believe the stories they came up with. After all, I hadn't yet encountered any ghosts. But one night, while I was resting in bed, I heard that noise, the same as before, quiet yet echoing through the house. Once more I thought nothing of it. I went straight back to sleep, but the noise persisted. I searched the house once more, looking for an answer. I found nothing. Could not sleep. For every time I closed my eyes, I was met with that horrible, horrible noise. Thump, thump, thump. That was it. A heartbeat. I couldn't place it before, but yes, it was. But whose was it? Whose heartbeat could it be? It couldn't possibly be the old man. No, of course not. That was just a silly fairy tale meant to frighten the newcomer, that's all. There is no such thing as... There it is again, but louder. In fact, it steadily increased. More and more, each time more unbearable. I could not stand it. It was driving me mad. No, I am not a madman. But that noise. I searched all over as it continued to beat, each time louder than the last. I ripped through the walls. Nothing. I dug up the yard. Nothing. Yet the noise steadily increased. I could not bear it any longer. Where could it be? Then the thought hit me. The floorboards. Yes, it was just as they said. But no, it couldn't be. If it were true, it means there was an old man murdered in this house. It means I found his heart. It means I've gone mad. I must find it. I must find that heart. I pushed off the bed with all my might. I tore up the carpet and was met with an old piece of wood, the original boards this house was built on. I tugged and tugged, trying to pry it up from below, and with each tug the beating steadily increased. I could not bear it, and then it budged. I don't remember much of what happened after that. The neighbors heard my shriek and called the police, who found me unconscious. As for what I found under the floorboard, I cannot say, for my memory ceased at that moment. All but one. The one that remains resembles that of a vulture. A pale blue eye.